Version of Mirage in Europe was on a newer one until everything came together. But we'll have Fluxo starting on the CT side in this pistol. Team 1 will be the initial aggressors.
Want to see if they hit the ground running or not. Jumping out, and Woody will be the first point of contact. Can actually take some safety with the smoke deployed as well. Two CTs clustered up together, and Lux is trying to be that first contact point, but Woody swung out wide, and they weren't expecting a move like that, but do they know about Phelps, who was yet to reveal his hand?
So much jumping to try and avoid getting headshot, but this lurk smoke from the CT side has been quite a problem. Stops them from making their way towards default without going straight into a crossfire. Hard to deal with. Dueling alone, but somehow getting there, leaving VSM and Lucalzi alone here for the CT side. They're in trouble now. That was looking good, especially with that delay, but the kills came through for Team 1.
2-on-4 is real difficult. The one person that Malps didn't sight directly, Lucalzi, is still left alive and has become one of the top performers, but can get nothing in the pistol round. VSM, he is certainly sharp. Best smile in Brazil, I always call him, and I don't think Team 1 are going to make sure that he smiles coming out of this round. Shadow spotted, but can't finish off the kill. It'll be IDK to close. Pistol round for Team 1 successful, but a very scrappy and awkward looking set of fights on that A-bomb site.
Yeah, I would love to see more teams pull out that smoke grenade from the shadow position, because I think that made things very, very awkward indeed. However, look at the range there with a Glock no less. Down the ladder as well. Pesadillo doing it the hard way. Really difficult kills to get there. He opened it up for his team. Before he came through with those kills, that was looking like a round going the way of Fluxo, but he took the round by force, and to the victor the spoils. The Galils will be out, as well as the AK-47. For the 4K from Pesadillo, he'll be rewarded with that AK-47. IDK will have the MAC-10 again. He can be the investigation man. He's the expendable man. If there's a stack on the bomb site, he can go in first and find out.
These are always the rounds you don't want to lose against a team that has caliber. Lucalzi, VSM, headshots and body shot spams. It doesn't matter, VSM's so sharp on the dig, but they are whittling down those numbers back to even here on Team 1, and now they have enough space to plant.
IDK planting that bomb. They know he's by empty pillar. Can he really move from here? Phelps waiting for a jiggle. The smoke to create some space. 2 versus 2. Lux with the Desert Eagle now. Spotted one by the bench, gets his bell rung and then some. Leaves IDK with a MAC-10 to finish off the job, unable to do so. And the force buy will prove successful.
These are always the danger rounds. You know, as soon as you give an inch, the opposing team are going to take a mile with the force buy. Really fantastic shots there for VSM. If not for his delay and getting those kills, they don't get those rotates there in time and keep pressure applied onto Team 1. They could feel their hearts beating out their chest as they saw that round flash before their eyes. That one FAMAS as well had the necessary impact to convert the round, and then they could just salvage weapons after the fact. This is probably the worst way that things could start. Did hear some tapping from chat while we were going into that 2v2. I don't think it was from any of the active players, thankfully. So a small tech issue to figure out.
Yeah, you hear that much typing and someone probably has an issue. Maybe with the headphones. The in-ears. Man, I haven't used in-ears for so long. Definitely using the over-ear cups for my massive head.
Don't think it's that big. I mean, like, my head is comparably sized and I'm a smaller human.
Your head is not comparably sized. What are you talking about? You're a liar.
Okay.
You're just straight lying.
I've got a big head about my big head.
Your head's small, mate. My hand is bigger than your head. What are you talking about? Those are quite some deagle shots from the CTs, really set them up for success. And I spoke about a MAC-10, but a MAC-10 came in late. It was the rifles who jumped out first, quite interestingly. It was a MAC-10, of course. You can just W. You don't even need to stop to duel, but with those rifles, you certainly do. So a false start, perhaps. Sometimes the second round can be better to win than the first round. I think if you're on a T side, more so, because then you put the CT economy in the bin, the lost bonus is in the bin, and it kind of takes them longer to get started into the game. So obviously, you know, you can't go into the beginning of a match and expect to win the second round and not the first, but if it does happen, then you can have a little extra confidence in that. It looks like the extension for the headphones will be replaced. I have those in-ears that he's using, so I know how short they are. Especially to use on a PC, you will need an extender.
Yeah, just to reel it back a bit as well. Just the idea that we have a derby between two Brazilian teams where they haven't had much interaction with one another is just an oddity in itself. I mean, it's so frequent that you're sort of inhabiting the same scene, but because Team One made that jump, they moved to North America quite some time ago. But they also all have founding members of the Team One entry into CSGO still a part of their organization. Maluk has been with them from the very dawn, and it seems to be the one immovable piece. And then they're bringing back players like IDK, who played with them for like 3 years during 2016. So to have all of these players come chop and change and go in and out of the roster, it is nice that there's like a safe space, or I guess a shelter that they can take. Even Malbs was left in some free agency for some time after the 0-0 Nation stunt, which 0-0 Nation are looking better now. I don't think anybody would contest that, especially with the move with Godsent. But they started off not having an in-game leader. It had to be something changed. You know, we had Taka with that Godsent roster that Phelps used to be a part of once upon a time. He wasn't enabled, he wasn't brought along with them to the newer projects. And Phelps is just an interesting story in his own right, because he was this young prodigal player at one point or another, and he got his opportunities to play with legends like Fallen, Taco, Fur. I think he eventually replaced FNX. That was the big transition. But he's had his chances at the top, and almost every time he has not made the next transition with them to try and find the method of success to bring those rosters back into relevancy.
Malbs has been on this team for almost 7 years. 6 years and 10 months to be exact, according to HLTV.
Maluk, yes.
Maluk, yeah. Oh, did I say Malbs?
Yeah.
I meant Maluk, sorry. Yeah, he's been on this team for almost 7 months. Malbs has been on his team for 1 month. 7 years, 1 month. There we go. Back in the room.
But he was a part of Team One for about 1.5 years before he made that jump to 0-0 Nation. But he's back. You know, I think they're happy to have him as well, because they actually were missing a dedicated entry fragger for quite some time. And it was a little heartbreaking when we had that interview earlier where it was like, I have to reel back my aggression. I have to take a few less fights. I want to go for more, but I have had to take a few less fights, just even in this expedition over to Europe. So I'm always interested to see how he develops, because he is one of those players that can speak both languages, and communicate. Portuguese, seems to be fluent enough in English. The interview he gave, I think, gave that impression as well. I've spoken to him previously as well. I think events like this as well, even if it's about Team One making that next step up, like where we've anticipated for quite some time, because they have good form when they play North American opposition, to be able to go up against European foes, even players back from your home country, to have that mixed bag and present yourself well, that's a great way to market yourself as a player and an organization. If you can get this roster off the ground, you could see Team One stickers maybe at some point.
That would be great to see. Now, they were off the ground in the first round, back on the ground in the second one. The Force Spy here for the third. AK-47 for IDK. Many Desert Eagles on deck as well. TRK with a Tech 9, of course. Can run around and find out with that one. Again, we've got those defensive smoke grenades to just try and cause some problems here. Makes it really hard for Tees to not walk into a crossfire. Taking their time now as they move beyond Tetris. The flashbangs are here as well. Pesadillo will be the first to fall, as will the bomb. Man advantage, Shadow spotted, and Lux will swat IDK from the top. And that is a clean enough anti-eco or anti-force buy round. Only one loss. Nothing to complain about there.
Yeah, keeping the ball rolling as well from the previous round success. Lux has been the real revelation, I think, with this roster. If you're not keeping your ear to the ground of the Brazilian scene, even Malb said it himself, like he's another one of these prodigal players that's coming up. Sort of got his start when he was about 19, but has risen through the ranks quite quickly. And to even think he's shoulder to shoulder with players like VSM, Phelps, Woody, Lucalzi, who have got way more accomplishments and have been on rosters for much longer periods of time, it's super fascinating.
Always great to see the young blood coming through. Great trigger discipline with the burst fire there from Phelps, keeping the recoil under control, keeping the frags going in his favor. Solid start from Phelps in this game. We've got some happy faces on the winning squad.
Phelps struggled earlier against the Outsiders, and I think if we saw him get a bit more impact, we maybe even see Fluxo winning that game. I think they sort of touched upon it on the desk that maybe Outsiders didn't come in with their A game. I think when we watched them earlier as well, that some of that was present, but there was always going to be this world, and I think most people had the expectation that Outsiders would just roll them over, but Fluxo have shown some real signs. The fancy footwork from Lucalzi gets punished, and Phelps will fall with him, mouths the entry on the second, and a 3-on-5 right off the jump.
Yeah, not a diving board, but off Lucalzi goes, and this is a very brutal start to round number 5 for Flux, and VSM will try to do what he can. Again, you've got to try and take something back. You can't just sit in a 3 versus 5 and wait for them to come to you. You've got to make plays. You've got to take the fight to them, and Fluxo will do that. They've got 1 kill, and they're going to commit everybody to the same bomb site. If Team 1 go to B, they'll defend it. If they go to A, they might be in position to save. But with 2 players heading towards ladder, this could really turn around if Woody keeps going.
It's all about timings. They've stopped in place as well. They don't want to get overexposed. They're actually boosting. That was the plan, not to reflank into ladder, trying to take the safer approach. Don't know if they would have heard it.
Shadow, I do wonder if they can see something here. I'm not entirely sure. Well, doesn't matter. The trades will be there. And suddenly we're in a 2 versus 2. They haven't seen the bomb, but they have made the round winnable. And IDK will move into position to cut off any rotation. We'll see if he'll be checked for.
No way he checks this. Oh my god. Yeah, a free kill. And I think that will give an indicator that the A bomb site should be vacant. There was a bit of a pull towards B because of the early presence on short. Thought it might have been a finish, but Team 1 will be able to rock the house, and Fluxo will save this AK on VSM if possible. Nice to see them bounce back so quick, and the double entry in mid is really the catalyst for Team 1 to break through.
Quite explosive indeed. Now, Fluxo they've got the money for a full buy in the next round, but after that, if they lose, they are likely heading towards Eco Town. So I do wonder if that'll make them play a little less aggressive. Does it make them doubt themselves, or do they play their A game and have confidence in themselves? We shall have to see. You can see all the X's on the radar where players have died in mid and around that short position. Very, very explosive start to the round. We'll see what's in store for the next one.
I think with Fluxo, it's always interesting to note because we have so many Brazilian in-game leaders that sort of try their hand at AWPing or are AWPers for a long time. I don't know if that's Fallen's fault or if it's just...
That's Fallen's fault, 100%.
But I think he was doing it in 2015 before they won the majors, you know? So it probably still is his fault. So
absolutely, he's responsible.
But it's fascinating because Woody is a very passive AWPer and has been for the entirety of his career, which is good for a team like Fluxo because they have pieces that want to be proactive. You know, Phelps, VSM, Lucalzi love taking space, and so it means that your AWPer isn't, I guess, taking that space away from the riflers that are trying to find that impact.
How you process all that information and use your scope at the same time fast, I have no idea. But Team 1 are going fast into the A bomb site, but maybe fast into their doom as Pencil gets dropped by the AWP. Lux is taken out from the bomb site. Woody looking to be offered something as he has eyes towards Triple, but he eats all of that flashbang. He might be permanently blind as that was so close to his face.
Little breakdown. Smokes are not going to last forever, and the one on top of the site has certainly gone. They're trying to force the fight in around the connector, and they will be able to go 1-for-1 at the very least. Phelps with that AWP, he started the round with it, never was able to give it right back over because Team 1 were so damn quick. But you said the money was going to be in a compromised position here for Flux, so they might try and save if they're given the space.
They'll be given a frag though, and that has got to be the go command at this point. There are kits on both players. I think we've got a smoke going towards connector to try and secure the defuse later on, but first they've got to find the kills. Convince someone's by default, but they can't get that kill. Still alive for now as he moves over to the fireboxes. Pressing forward now, they've got to deal with this player, but IDK will deliver the frag. The reload won't matter. Too deep for Phelps to go and commit to that kill. He can't win the round. He might get a kill. See if he saves his weapon here. That might be hard as well. He'll be denied, and another round is in the bag for Team 1.
Yeah, perfectly played there from IDK as well. They throw the util to clear out Firebox. There's this flash that's thrown CT, and during the blind, he's able to just reinsert him in a spot that they seemingly would have cleared. But a very contentious round through and through. The fact that they saved nothing here as well means that Team 1 can carry this momentum into the next round.
Yeah, this opens the floodgates for our T side here to really rack up the rounds and put their opponent on the back foot, but easier said than done. We haven't seen what the choice that has been made yet by the CT squad, so we'll have to see. I saw a CSGO tattoo on the hand there. This game means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah, people have made those commitments. One of our commentators has something that's sort of CS themed. It's on his ankle, I believe. Giant chicken.
Is it chicken or a rooster?
Is
it chicken or rooster? Can somebody tweet me some science, please?
Yeah, I don't know enough about animal facts.
All right, then. So we have the hero AWP. We saw some fun with this from teams earlier on, and perhaps we will see the same now. That's why I made no assumptions. Yes, there should be an eco round here, but hero AWP, the money is together with the team post-purchase, so that's important. They have the space to do this if they want to, and it seems they do. So it seems VSM will try to get that aggressive position in the apartments. He announces the presence of an AWP. That is key information for Team 1, and it wasn't costly. They didn't lose any players.
Immediate reposition you see with the weapon that they have active. That smoke, that's in con as well. They are trying to show some presence through it, but right now it's looking a little dangerous for Team 1. We can see how they're posturing towards this side of the map. They're gravitating because of the sheer mass of players here for Fluxo.
Some damage being done through Connector, but the numbers game is towards the ramp, and the AWP's gone back and committed to that B bomb site. Not with the team. Rotation will take a while, but they are getting some kills here. Hold on a second. Malbs is alone. 1v3. Trying to do what he can. Woody's got Kevlar as well, so this won't be too easy. Woody wins the duel with the 5-7. Even without the AWP there was enough chaos for them to steal a round away on the A bomb site.
And another round where it just looks like economically they shouldn't be able to win it, but Fluxo make the right call. They have the numbers, they hit the critical shots as well. So being able to get their hands on rifles like this, I mean, we see just how good Lux is once he's able to get himself down towards the under balcony, and then all of his players as well, all of his teammates come rushing through on the rotate to make it as difficult as possible for Malbs. 2 rounds in this half, and we've only seen 7 of play. That they have lost rounds they know they shouldn't have.
That is a very timely molly. Isolates fights, but they don't win them. Lux is eliminated, and that really opens the potential. Look how they swarm onto this A bomb site. Bomb has to make it over as well. And Malbs is very close to CT, and that's where he will die. So it doesn't seem that Team 1 know whether or not CT is open. There is a flank on the way as well, and look, they're even doing more. Pesadillo and Maluk with 2 more headshots, leaving VSM and Lukowski. They were looking to wrap, they were looking to surround the bomb site, but it's only them left. 2 versus 4, they have so much work to do. It might be a case at this point of only just taking weapons away, just not allowing Team 1 to take all these rifles into the next round, because I can't see them retrieving the round itself.
Got their hands on the AWP, and VSM has a kit. I mean, just the fact that he's able to do that damage, like you're saying, this is a round where there wasn't, it was heavy investment there from Team 1, but they wanted to do what to them that had been, or they wanted to do to Fluxo what has been done to them so far in this game, and so the fact that you get one back, is that karma? Do you believe? I don't know.
Sometimes it be like that. I believe in that phrase.
Yeah, what goes around comes around. Great pacing, like you said, this explosion on the A bomb site, the smokes came in nice and quick, and then the calamity of frags they found just as those smokes were fading was too much to handle.
So ready with these Deagles, but at least we have the adaptation from Fluxo. It's like, okay, let's just try to make it as expensive as we can, take these rifles away. We have lost the round, but they can lose some rifles. So we continue with the mixed bag of weaponry. There's an Deagle for Lux. They've got the smoke, so I would be expectant of some kind of smoke down here, and we'll see Lux trying to defend himself from the Molotov. A lot of players on the ramp. They'll have to take this whole site though, as we see Lux trying to do what he can around that smoke grenade. He's got teammates to play with as well.
They've thrown so many Molotovs at Lux, and he's still in this position. It's been such a nuisance, and he still finds kills. This shouldn't be possible, but the weapons are coming in as well. Fluxo, this reinvestment, the unideal buy, it's going to keep happening, but unless Maluk has something to say about it, and he finds a couple of kills right back, this round is still on.
Lux went to the point of no return there, giving that second 1v1 up to Maluk. Really, you can see he regretted that, but he couldn't cross back. And now there's just under a minute for Maluk to make a play, but he's committed to the bomb site because so is the bomb. Trying to turn around. Turning when you're scoped in gives you the turning circle of a tank, basically. Couldn't get his crosshair in the right place at the right time, and that will put a stop to the bleeding in another dangerous round.
And surely that's a stop to these unideal buys, because we've seen now 9 rounds of play. I think more than half of them have been populated by SMGs or upgraded pistols. It has been so back and forth, but the buys keep coming. Team One want to keep that pressure up.
Yeah, until somebody gets a consecutive round, we will see non-stop force buys, but that means that we're in for a very fun game. Quite the limitation here for Team One, though, with their pistols, but... Well, I was going to say but never mind, because 3 of them are dead already, and it's pretty easy going for VSM as they run through a smoke. Forced into a less than ideal situation. And this is where Flux should stabilize. They don't lose a single player, and now surely we head in towards Eco Town for their opponent.
Yeah, speed has been the recipe for success for Team One on these low buy rounds, and they try it once again, this time over towards the B bomb site. But that's the danger. Quick boost into the apartments, and yeah, it does look very simple when it's done like this. The spacing is off. They're very, very staggered, so VSM has more than enough time to reset between every single one of the fights.
They accidentally team flashed themselves as well with the timing trying to push through the smoke. The second player through not only went through a smoke, but also ate the team flash and was just running at his opponent blind with no one behind him to trade either. So, I mean, there were people behind the smoke which also flashed. That was a bit of a calamity, and we might see one here as well. A Glock getting some kills versus a full rifle squad, and IDK looks for a second. Maluk, he was ready if somebody came close enough. This is chaos.
What is happening?
Absolute chaos. Really trying to get another kill with a Glock, but 2 is way too many already.
There's just been way too many pistol kills this game, and even with the Glocks, it seems that remains the case. But you can see it's been hard to get a grasp of this game for either squad. This can be what happens when we have derbies typically, but this was the one exception where we thought, okay, maybe with the fact that they're competing in different regions, they haven't had that much crossover. So you wouldn't see as much of a scrap as this, but...
Nah, derby's a derby. Even if they're on opposite sides of the world, it's in the DNA. It's gonna be madness.
Take the country, or the player out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the player.
Exactly. The rifles are out for both squads now. Both well equipped. Maybe Team One slightly better in terms of utility. 3-round lead for Flux though. Minute 30 on the clock. All eyes on Team One. 3 players towards A for Fluxo at present, but we can see A being somewhat abandoned by Team One as they deploy a smoke in the window. And perhaps IDK will go back to lurk, but it seems that there may be intentions towards the B bomb site perhaps.
Smoke window flashes mid, and Fluxo have no one present. They actually seem to be leaning heavily over towards this A bomb site, thinking that it's going to be a split convergence here from the Team One players, but still enough time for them to consider that B bomb site like you were alluding to.
The lurker's moving, leaving though. Malbs is left B apartment. There is a smoke top connection. Of course, you can do either thing with that. You can try and go towards short, or reposition to head towards A. So this is going to be quite the funnel. Many teams making their way through to A, through that connector position. 4 men streaming through. How do you deal with that? They have got so many numbers to trade, but Lukowski is hiding in plain sight here. And there's TRK running to his doom, trying to buy time as best he can, but asking too much of him on this occasion. Clutch scenario for VSM now. 1 versus 3 as the bomb gets planted. Spots 1 heading towards Palace, and now Team 1 have all the information they need.
Grab an AK and snake away seems to be the plan here for VSM. I like this as well. Team One changing the pace. In so many of these rounds already, in this half, we've just had fast play after fast play, burst after burst. But once they clear out mid and they spot no one, I actually thought Fluxo had it. You know, they had 4 players in very close proximity, but they weren't quite ready for just the pace that Team One came into so late into the round. Then they didn't have a second prong to the assault. These players were sort of pushed to fight a potential ramp player that never really came quick enough. So that player's getting shot in the back.
I like their jerseys. They're very different to any other jersey I see.
Yeah, they've undergone a rebrand, I believe. They've merged with another South American organization, Los Grandes. So they've got like a little flame going on with the V. We know them best as Team One, so we've stuck with it. But I think they go like Los X1, which is a mouthful and probably unideal for English broadcast, but
2 rounds between the squads now. We've already lost Pesadillo very early indeed. We can see 3 smokes up in mid, and he was behind them as he got deleted. And I think Flux thought there was a B split coming with those smokes up. That would certainly suggest it. So they are somewhat double OP right now, out of position. They still have a man advantage, however, as they head back towards the A bomb site. You can see Woody in that mid position. Phelps is getting dropped as well, which is going to even up the numbers for a brief moment. But Lucalzi has something to say about that, looking to make it a 3 versus 1 now as he tries to take down the bomb planter, but TRK will deny him. And back and forth we go. 2 players remaining for Fluxo, both with kits, as Woody dances around this smoke. But IDK has no idea. He's standing next to Woody. There is the trade, and now TRK on the ramp has the information. Is he going for the straight defuse? He is. He's fully committing to this. TRK trying to get him off the defuse, but he will fully commit to it. The round is over as fast as it began. A very cheeky one-tap through the smoke. No time to rest in these rounds.
what is going on? I mean, we have flanks on flanks. They're back-to-back on stairs. We have shots through smoke. But it doesn't matter when the round result is where it sits. Fluxo able to steal that one narrowly away. And this is the kind of impact you expect to see from players like Malves, just being able to scale in efficiently. But Lucalzi kept his finger on the pulse of that round for so long, kept applying pressure. I was honestly surprised that they were able to deal with him so quickly on that rotate. Timeout called, maybe you need a breather. This is... No, you've not had a lot of time to think in these late round moments. It's just been action on action, whether it's been flanking players being sussed out or the rotator getting flashed and peaked. There is no rest.
Round 14. And indeed, there is no rest. Double MP9s are out for Fluxo. Mirage is a great map for MP9s, especially towards A ramp. Dangerous game you're playing, but quick on that trigger finger, it is extremely lethal. Desert Eagle out for Pesadillo. Less than ideal situation for both teams, but they're ready to fight scrappy, and it's very entertaining indeed. More presence shown in that mid position, but this time Pesadillo will somewhat disengage and fall back. You can see the pop flash play from Lux, but TRK is ready for it, but so is Woody, ready to trade at the very least, and here comes the fight for the A bomb site. We still have Pesadillo lurking in the mid position, but that leaves only IDK at this point because Maluk and Malps have been dropped, as has the bomb, as has IDK. All running into the meat grinder now. Fingers in the blender for Team 1 as Fluxo move to 9.
It's not even as if these SMGs are finding kills in all of the rounds we see them invested. But something about it just seems to scare the ever-living hell out of the opposing squad. Low pistols, SMGs, just maybe concerned about how quick the pace can be, but the aim gets fumbled. Great positional play from Woody, because he waited as well for his rotates to come in. But it feels like the teams find their best answers, their best solutions on these low investments.
This will be the last one for the first half, at the very least. Worth mentioning that Mirage was the pick of Team 1. So I'm very excited to see what they have to offer on the CT side. But first comes the conclusion of their T side. Into the A bomb site they go once again. Lux down in CT. Phelps with a gap on the smoke, and look at that. 2 as they try to take more map control. And things are really turning around. IDK with the 180, but he can't find the second headshot. And that leaves Maluk with plenty of time. But how much opportunity? Being spotted by Triple now, and that might be the end of the round. And the end of the half as well. Woody with that final frag. That might be a comfortable score at halftime for Fluxo. 10-5 for Team 1. What did Team 1 have to say about things on their CT side? Find out after the break. to switch sides. It was the pick of Team 1 Mirage, and they move to the CT side. Time to show us what they've got. 5-10, a good scoreline at halftime. The Julies, I'm loving the amount of Julies we're seeing.
Yeah.
I'm loving the amount of Julies, and we're seeing P250s on the T side as well. We've seen some great clips for P250 fishing for kills on Mirage. Simple's very good at that, but we'll see if Lux is as well.
Woody's just trying to keep their attention over on this A bomb site. Maluk has spotted him as well, but now they come up the connector, and that's what they were waiting for. Woody will finally show his hand, but they get the kill they need to an entry onto the A bomb site, and they've actually just split up the defense here from Team 1, and they're bypassing those A players.
The bomb is splitting the B bomb site from CT spawn. What in the blazes is this? Maybe a delayed split because Lucalzi's almost in T spawn, but the bomb's over towards B now, and IDK has to try and stay alive. He'll do better than that. He'll drop Phelps, and now VSM is asking for help. He'll take it into his own hands, though, drop IDK, and there goes TRK to the P250 of Lux, leaving Pesadillo in a 1 versus 3. He's in the apartments. They know where he is now. Play the numbers as he tries to deliver these headshots with the USP, but you can see he is being invited into a crossfire. That was delicious from Pesadillo. He only needs one. Where is Lucalzi? One more to find. Lucalzi trying to hold on at this point. Pesadillo looking so dangerous. That is an outrageous clutch with the USP.
What on earth? They tried to double peek. They tried to double peek him, but he just immediately snaps to both heads. That is an incredible clutch for Pesadillo to win. I can't quite believe that. That looked like a round done and dusted. They knew where he was from the start of that retake.
They played it with discipline, and he deleted them anyway. That's utterly nasty. An outrageous play into the B bomb site through CT spawn on a pistol round to begin with. But look at this from Pesadillo. That frag through the middle of the site was unbelievable. What kind of reaction time was that? Like 0.0?
Just too damn quick. That's an unbelievable round to win, but I'm still concerned about rounds exactly like this. Second round investments. We saw how tumultuous the first half was. Kept taking twists and turns. Didn't know where either side was going to end up when we entered the second half, but Fluxo still did manage 10. Team 1 have won both their pistols, but have not found the conversion as of yet, and being spotted on the boost early as well. Fluxo have some information about what the potential setup could be.
Golden Coil is the connoisseur's choice of M4. Plus points for that.
Mentioned earlier as well, Phelps had a very quiet game against Outsiders, but he is really showing up in this matchup.
Moving into the A-bomb site now. There's a lurker in the palace, ready to swing at the right time. And they need to because, oh, never mind now. VSM has been dropped, and finally we get the first kill. But is it too late for Fluxo in this round? They've only got 2 players left, but the CTs are on the rotation, and Phelps, he sees the shadow, surely. He knows one is coming, but is he ready for the second? Look how he pops in there! Oh. That is outrageous from Phelps. That 180 is glorious, but not enough to win the round. A nice highlight, but ultimately, the story goes to the other team.
Yeah, super clean and very well put together there by Phelps, but without his teammates getting those kills, moving on towards the A-bomb site, he never found the right time to activate on that lurk, and so it just seems like it falls flat and lands in a position where Phelps has to effectively win out this 1v4 so rapid. Extra players on short, he wasn't accounting for that one, but Team 1 stopped the madness. 2 consecutive rounds to kick off our second half, and maybe the CT side is where they can stabilize. We've seen some nice sharp shooting, we've had some good spacing, and that Pesadillo clutch as well, it was sensational.
Even though they lost the round, those 2 kills were sublime.
Yeah.
Great demonstration of individual skill. And again, this time from Team 1, we see these lurk smokes just to create some space, just to allow a way in should they need one. Also makes it awkward for the T's to move too far forward around those smokes. There'll be advantageous angles for Team 1 to have, so they could delay things, but have a look at the spread of Fluxo. How comfortable are Team 1? I mean, they've conceded this by design. You're against Eco, you want to put as much distance as you can. If someone is to fall, you want it to be hard to retrieve that rifle. Now the bomb looks to get planted, and the harassment will come through.
Good shot from Maluk to kick things off. Instant snap on the head, and while they do get the plant, you know, that's the initial objective. The investment of these deagles will be compensated by the plant bonus, but holding it down in the post plant will be very, very difficult. And they need to have some nice sharp shooting once again, but won't be given the chances. They are clustered together like a bunch of bananas, and right now those bananas are hitting hard.
Lucalzi wants to try and do damage if he can, but he has Kevlar, so I mean he can just hold on to what he has as well. They'll come for him, but that's a lot of money that he's holding on to there, so that may give him some more utility or something down the line, so fair enough. Now let's see what these teams will offer in the round to come. Again, Mirage the pick of Team 1 on their CT side now. Started at 5-10, currently 8-10. So far, so good. AWP's out for both squads in round number 19. They are well equipped from top to bottom. Quick boost for Phelps, but just the top of the arch. Pesadilla with 2 HP and a dream at this point. How do you play with 2 HP? You could almost be killed by a flashbang.
Yeah, surprised he survived that in any case, but the top of the arch is just being enough of a gap to keep him alive. I don't know what position, what spot you can play, because there's quite a lot of angles that are very susceptible to nades. Fortunately, Fluxo don't have any. HEs specifically, they have other grenades. Playing it nice and slowed here on the Fluxo side.
Look
TRK.
at this rotation.
Yeah, great push. And hearing info as well, the scope from Woody will give up some of the game here.
Yeah, but you can expect a lurker towards A now. If he goes beyond this angle, he could see the bomb. Shadow with a little warning from Maluk, allow him to deliver that kill.
He doesn't know.
TRK, did he see somebody there? Oh, well, he certainly has now. Eliminates the bomb immediately. You go no further. Now, what did the rest of the team do? It is a long way to that ramp. 40 seconds may not feel like enough in a 3 versus 5 stuck in connector, and Maluk is ready. The smoke dissipates on the ramp. They don't know what's around that corner. But this is a great situation for Team 1. Haven't dropped around in this half so far. Doesn't look likely right now either.
Yeah, impossible, it feels like now, to get out of the connector, and they will lose numbers just trying to escape the affair. Lucalzi never moved an inch out of con, but can get one consolation frag, but traded immediately afterwards. Team 1 are hot on their heels. 4 rounds consecutively moving into the second half. So that lead that Fluxo had coming away from the first isn't feeling like much of a lead anymore.
Sometimes a team needs that pressure to be up in their face or breathing down their neck. And that's probably the situation now that Team 1 have caught up. And so fast have they done it. A half buy from Fluxo. We ran this round 100 times. Almost all the time, Team 1 are taking this round. So expecting a 10-10. Maybe we'll see that extra gear from Fluxo. We'll have to wait and see. They've taken some nice map control so far. Lucalzi still alive, and that's important because that allows them to have jungle.
Matt down, and Phelps is still lingering by. We saw how patient he was on the last A-side attack, and I think Team 1 know it. That's why they are still moving together as a pack, but they're thinning the herd even further. Fluxo just chewed down to 3, and these 2 players in towards jungle can actually help the site defender.
There's no flashes for Fluxo here, so this is going to be really hard to convert. There will be trades. That favors the CTs.
Oh.
Clock is ticking, but they have kits as well. Lucalzi with 12 HP now. What does he choose to do? He's got the M4A1S, and he'll try to find a nice lineup. He is tagging some, but that diffuser is still on the bomb. And that's the round secured now. 10 apiece. Both teams on double figures. Another fun round. And again, they take the map control. Sometimes it's conceded early by the CTs, but the CTs keep securing these rounds.
And they're playing very retake heavy. I mean, you're kind of calling their defensive setups, but because, like you said, they're designing these rounds this way for the Team 1 side, the important thing is not losing too many numbers, and also keeping in consideration that Phelps is usually very, very late to activate on his flanks. Feel a little more comfortable that they can group themselves up.
Pesadillo straight through connector. Not sure if he saw Phelps on short. Either way, will fall back and try to keep the numbers up, but Maluk will be dropped. And again, the T's fast into the A bomb site. TRK utterly domed by VSM. And we've got big problems for Team 1 on the A bomb site.
VSM had some great clutches earlier today. Some real sharp shooting, and is showing up on this T side as well to at least enable a round like this, but only that one-man advantage, and Fluxo could also have the opportunity to run themselves back if they so choose. Phelps hearing the information, player in con, and round the smoke that's not gone through it, so Pesadillo is a sitting duck. Malbs round his own smoke can find nothing, and IDK, a 1-on-4 would certainly be something, but he finds the first and dinks the second. It will not be enough. Fluxo finally call it quits on this run from Team 1.
First round in the first half, and again, we mentioned the pressure is pretty high now that all those rounds have been won and the score is tied, and they're straight into winning ways afterwards in this second half. Again, that lurk smoke played passively around it in rounds prior. We see the push here from the second player. Almost gets the second kill there with the FAMAS, but not quite. It's a dangerous smoke and something to be respected sometimes by Fluxo. Very fast top con smoke, and again Pesadillo comes back with the same. Sees more players top mid, but disengages. Sit on this advantage. Last round they lost a player in quick succession to getting that kill in mid. This time, still a 5 versus 4.
Yeah, let Fluxo stew in that for just a little bit, because when they go for this mid control, they very often don't have all the extremities covered as well on this T side. They could add some paranoia that they could be getting flanked double molly in towards B. So a lot of util exchanged for just the one out of Fluxo.
Yeah, Team 1 not wanting any fast response to their current advantages. Team Maluk posting up to have a look towards short. They've got nobody in the window at present. Very defensive. You can see on the radar they're playing assuming that jungle is compromised. And Pesadillo is at the entrance to B, just keeping an eye on things in case anybody makes inroads towards the A bomb site. But he's in a really good position because, as we can see on the X-ray, there are 3 players heading into his general area. So unless Lucalzi can pull people to where he is, unless he can be a giant magnet for these CTs, Fluxo may be running into a brick wall.
There are triplets in your area, and they know it. The flash is perfect, and Malbs will collect on all 3. The timing could not have been better. Lucalzi is left lonesome, and Fluxo, they might have broken past that hurdle. They might have finally stopped the run from Team 1, but it will be answered right back immediately.
That was one hell of a pop flash, and Lucalzi is simply too far away. He had 22 seconds in the 1 versus 3. And he's not really going to achieve much in a situation such as that. So hold on to his AK-47. Some damage has been done, but indeed, the lead will be lost once more. Team 1 comes straight back, and that was perfect timing from them. But to transfer onto 3 players with a Silence M4 is no easy feat either.
Yeah, that was marvelous from Malbs. He was, I mean, he's a player from the Guatemalan region that, I mean, how many players do we see emerging in CSGO that have shown the talent that he has? That's why everyone was so excited when he got that 0-0 Nation opportunity, but...
That third kill was a pre-fire transfer with the smaller magazine of the Silenced M4. I mean, I'll give you a gold badge, mate. That was very nice. Fluxo looked to have a fast round towards the A bomb site. We can see all the lineups, but Maluk chose the right round to get aggression towards Palace. Down a player goes, and it seems that Fluxo may reconsider their options now. They have the whole round ahead of them. Minute 30 on the clock here. They still have 3 smoke grenades. Now, situations such as this, when your plan A goes bad, it can be really hard to make the right call here. Seems they'll at least look for a flank. Maybe they'll go back to their original plan.
While it's still a newish team, you know, only a couple of months, this Fluxo roster, but they have got a lot of their odds and ends sorted. You know, flash protocols, executes, they have the lot. So being able to still rely on that in critical moments will be key, and they reconsider their reconsideration and go back to this A play.
Counter grenades coming through from the CTs. Maluk throwing the flashbang. Trying to look over the smoke now. Going for the Kobe. Not this time. Kobe with an AWP, no less. TRK making them go real deep to find that kill and denying them. Exposing them for Maluk as well. A trade from Lux, a trade from Pesadillo. That makes it a 4 versus 1. Made 4 versus none as Woody soon drops afterwards.
They weren't dejected after that first half. You see they came in with some real fire, and it was the Pesadillo USP clutch to really get the ball rolling, and it feels like Fluxo can't stop it from rolling down that hill. They can push it all the way up if they want to, but it will come crumbling back down. Things are looking rough here for Fluxo, and considering how close the first half was, to see Team One have such an organized approach and be so comfortable, giving them so much room as well on Fluxo to operate. You know, they have great players that can capitalize on that room. This T side has just not been treating them as swimmingly. And again, conceded here for Team One, and Fluxo will occupy.
No challenge from Pesadillo this time. And of course you can't, as a CT side, you never want to be predictable. That pop flash play through connector twice in a row though was not what Fluxo expected and was devastating. But now they've changed their configuration and perhaps they'll be a little more aggressive with their positions. Have a look on the radar. You can see Malbs has pushed through B apartments already, which is allowing them the luxury of 3 players committed to the A bomb site here. But Maluk's looking the wrong way. That timing is brutal. VSM with a cheeky kill from the Palace.
This will just break down the setup because they were hoping that they could have this extra player on the right bomb site, but now Fluxo have found that opportunity, that opening, and it'll be about whether Malbs can activate pushing through B even further, because Fluxo will be ahead of his scheduling.
No vision of mid though, leaves IDK going back towards the B bomb site, but TRK will get the kills on the A bomb site along with Pesadillo, and now we're in a 1 versus 2. They know where Phelps is. Phelps has a rough idea of where Pesadillo is at the very least, but he has no idea where Malbs is. He knows he might be around B, but he's heading towards Palace, in fact. 20 seconds. Is there time for a B rotate? Perhaps not. Where is that second player? Phelps is asking. His time is being wasted on the ramp here. 10 seconds on the clock now. Rings the bell. 1 HP, but just couldn't finish off the job there. Pesadillo survives a difficult round.
Yeah, and they didn't even need Malbs in the end, just because the TRK and Pesadillo are able to do so much on the site. The fact that they lost Maluk so early, it should have compromised this setup, but just bouncing the aggression off of each other so perfectly. You could see the lengths Fluxo went to try and get those trades, trying to scale back onto the balcony because they just didn't have the extra numbers to come in with.
Early molly in the window allows a gap to be created, but from connector, Maluk will find Phelps and Lucauzi, and he will start to drop these players 1 by 1. A very early 5 versus 3, a strong position for Team One. What do you do from here, Fluxo? Running out of opportunities now.
The conventional line of thinking would be group together and find the trade, but been very difficult. The setup from Team One, the crossfires have been great, and Pesadillo continues to impress. I think pound for pound, when we think about international results or even just flashes of in the pan of the skill ceiling of Fluxo, many would have maybe even put them above Team One. We certainly saw that from the early predictions, considering they tested outsiders so heavily. But Team One have stabilized so well into the second half. Lux, not much of a chance.
Yeah, looking real comfortable now for Team One. Confident in these rounds as they shut down Fluxo on their pick. Team One's pick, that is, to be clear, of Mirage. But there's more work to do. It's not over yet. They are 2 rounds away from victory. We'll see what the next round looks like very shortly indeed. And all these rounds are data for Fluxo. It's pretty brutal, violent, painful data, but perhaps there is enough in these rounds for them to find a way, find a hole in the rounds to come, which may be few, maybe many.
There's only so much of your life you can sacrifice to science.
That's a great phrase.
Yeah, they might feel a little trapped here because they've tried a few different approaches. They've tried going quick, and every time Pesadillo peeked bottom connector, found an opening kill, and when they've played it slow, they haven't had that duel that they're looking for to bring them into an advantage. Team One have only gone aggressive in the early stages of rounds, and when they've done that, they've been very successful.
Thanks to their work in the first half, Fluxo, they're not too far behind on paper. But in reality, they've won 1 round in this half. Yeah. So they are very far behind indeed. And it will feel even further with the bye they have here as they're really keeping money for the next round, but they'll try and do what they can. There'll be a gamble here. There's a flashbang and a headshot, and Pesadillo's got much work to do. Boosted like it's an eco round for the CTs. They're losing players, and he does not have an angle just yet. He needs a multi-frag. He needs more than this. VSM starts to plant a bomb now, looking for something else. He gets both kills as the bomb is planted, but there is the trade. Well, quite a wild round now, which leaves Maluk in a 1 versus 2. That really didn't pan out the way they wanted, but he's made it winnable. Maluk finds Phelps in that short pillar. He knows that Lucalzi's by the bench, but he peeks at the right time, and they just about survive that round.
A Lucalzi ace as well when they need it most. He gets the entries, and he just keeps on cutting them down on short. I thought for sure Pesadilla was going to ruin this round completely for Fluxo. Him getting those 2 kills and then instantly threatening Lucalzi's position. No, he just keeps hitting head after head. This was ridiculous, and that gives new life to what Fluxo have to offer on this T side.
Those frags were super clean. It's all eyes on that boosted player and what he could do in the meantime. Everybody's cleaned up by Lucalzi. Again, the pressure rises and Fluxo start to deliver, but can they get the consecutive rounds? If they do, Team 1 are on eco. This could be everything, or it could be absolutely nothing. Lucalzi legs, but there's the headshot from VSM. There's the entry into the A-bomb site, and suddenly things get very urgent for Team 1.
Oh, the backstab from Phelps as well is so well timed. Pesadilla will at least get 1 in response, but trying to group themselves up and retake this faster before the Fluxo get that bomb down. That'll just add more time pressure to it, but it actually diverts attention. Players not watching, smokes around the corner, and IDK will not get his opportunity to strike. They don't consider this smoke wholeheartedly, so it's back to 3-on-3.
They've got 2 smokes as well. They can smoke off multiple choke points and put mollies in front of them as well, but they're still losing players. Pesadillo and IDK, 2 versus 2 now. Are there kits? Indeed there are. Pesadillo still on the site, looking for these players, cannot find them. They lose absolutely everything. Team 1 on eco with Fluxo 1 round behind.
This could be the absolute backbreaker, and to think that they struggled and climbed this mountain that was ahead of them so quickly, to have it all just come tumbling down with the Fluxo low buy, and now this collection on the A-bomb site, it might just end in heartbreak for a squad that, yeah, head-to-head, you might just say they're out of it, but like you've sort of alluded to, the idea that Fluxo have seemed to perform better under pressure, Team 1 might crumble under.
This is a really bad time for Team 1 to have absolutely no money. A really bad time. This surely galvanizes Fluxo. Although there's no guarantee they win this round. And Malbs will do his best with the Desert Eagle, but look at the angles that he's forcing these T's to fight him in. 3 shots from Malbs with the Desert Eagle, and only Lucas and Lucalzi remain. Surely not like this.
Finally, he's dealt with at the very least. Lucalzi seems to be the only bane for Malbs' shenanigans. And the big thing is that rifles couldn't have been recovered here for Team 1, but the fact that they have this flank so fast. Oh no, oh no, oh, it's all gone terribly wrong. I thought Maluk was gonna miss the timing, but IDK also blindsides a player. You thought the Fluxo half-buy was bad. Talk about USPs for Team 1.
That Desert Eagle though,
yeah.
The angles he forced them to fight him at were beautiful. That second one was like a game of train. The angle was so tight. You can pre-fire that. If he's standing to try and kill you, you're pre-firing his face all day. Perfect. Delivered when it really counted. Fluxo need 2 from 2 now. They have money to survive this. But will they be allowed to?
No, this is quick, very fast, out of Palace. The smoke doesn't get there in time, but no one's looking at TRK, so the numbers are gone. The bomb spotted, and they are losing too many players too quick. Phelps, the last man, and he has been a hero, but he needs to find 4.
There's the silenced M4 for you. Have no idea you're getting shot from 3 feet away. Such a fast round. Phelps with so much to do. 1v4 made 3. All on the A-bomb site. They will work together. They will force you to walk into a trade frag situation in their favor. 1 minute 10 on the clock for Phelps. See TRK on the ramp. Every time he fires his weapon and refreshes their information, they'll all move and make things even worse now. They won't be too concerned with the ramp for the next 30 seconds. He has no idea where the other 2 players are. Can't even go into CT for free with 50 seconds on the clock because the vent's not broken. It gets even more difficult for Phelps. Grenade flank towards jungle, and there's the big headshot to finish it off. Explosive from start to finish. A great game of Mirage, won eventually by Team 1.
Nobody knew which way that one was going to go coming into this game, and it just continued in the server. We saw this comeback happen for Team 1, but Fluxo started to show some signs of life, but Mouths felt like the X factor to just finally bring them over the edge. The newest addition, the re-entry back into Team 1 is flawless.
Beautiful work from Team 1 towards the end there.